Just a quick update on GameStop and where we are with liquidity. Here I'm just looking at the liquidity sentiment, which really shows us relative liquidity now compared to previous time, and we can see that at the moment we're tracking at about the same place that we took off both in April 2024 and when we melted up in November. So if I put that line in and make it solid, if we look through, it's about the same sort of place that we took off in April, and it's about the same place that we took off at the bottom of March, and about the same place. So liquidity is quite good. We've also had this quite a good build, little bit of a tightening here. It definitely has loosened up during this last week or so, and that's as we've seen a lot of movement around the market in the other game stocks and the spreading of volatility. We can see that we had this little bump here. This is where that spread out was happening, this little bump of volatility being spread around and dispersed between the markets, and now we can see it's tightening up again, and it looks like this current run is going to be in the in the big Mag 7 because of the mad race for AI at the moment. And it will be interesting to see if we do get movement in the other parts of the industry. If we start to see this rise again, maybe it's not the month, but I've got a bit of a feeling we've seen a bit of an increase in volatility moving forward, especially in the midterm VIX ETNs, and be interesting to see if that now spreads that gamma, or centralizes that gamma into a high gamma situation quite quickly and into the indexes, and we see it tightening and getting to the place where we want to see some vol compression. Let's just have a look at what it says behind. Here in the back of the market, I'm looking here at the firstly here at the DPI. We can see we've had quite a steady build. We've had quite good buying or possibly selling of calls, selling of puts, and we had that other build between December and this most recent bump in May. Probably not as much as these bumps that we saw going into last April, but they haven't yet burnt out. The price is still staying relatively high, and it's being gamed, I think, by the use of in players knowing when to drop and charge. This was a real drop and charge event. We saw that massive charging when we were just looking there at TradingView when we were just looking at the liquidity sentiment. Just going into the back of it here and having a better look here, you can see that we've got quite a lot of these puts that were probably sold on the bottom of that bump on the 22nd here. So they were sold about here, the puts. They've got that big charge. The thing that we really want to see, if we just, I'll just drop out this gamma here. The thing we really want to see is we want to see this IV running higher. The IV is very low at the moment, and that means the market makers really aren't grabbing at the moment at the asking price. They're really just paying the bid. We want to see it starting to climb. Then we know when we start to see this climbing that we've got a little bit of action. We did see a bit here. We saw a little bit here in October through to that December 25th, 26th. So again, let's see what happens there. At the moment, let's see if we get a bit of vol compression and we have a bit of a blow off top. If we go into a recessionary position, a lot of people are saying that, and then there's the soothsayer saying that don't you worry about it. The finances are great at the moment. All right, that's my little quick update. I hope you gained some insight from that. I think that we could be loading again, but I've said it before and it hasn't happened. Let's see if this is the time. We have to get all our ducks to line up. We've got to have the DSPX, the dispersion index. We have to have it very low. We have to have higher higher IV, and we need to see some tightening in the liquidity. Anyway, have a good week's trading. Thank you very much.